Come on in, everybody. What's up, everybody? I'm loving this beat. Anyways, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Carlos Aguilar, better known as Carlos Tacos. And tonight's show, we got a couple of guests. We got two or three right now. We just got two, but there'll be a third one later. We got an interesting topic tonight. So really don't want to say. I'll just bring the guest on the show right now. We got Nicole Gardner and Miss Patty. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I know you guys got a couple
Hi,
of topics.
Patty.
What's up? What's up? Good to see you all. Always a pleasure.
So I guess you guys got I don't know, Patty, something's going on this weekend, or are we going to talk about that? Okay.
Yeah, we have an action. We have an action. You know, people are afraid to protest. And it kind of, you know, there's nothing to be afraid of, like when exercising our rights to organize and call out injustices, because we know this is in our backyard. It's not just in our city. It's a thing, but this is in our yard. And so Saturday, we're going to organize Reimagine Antioch, welcoming all community members and activists to call out the Antioch Police Officers Association. We have demands. They're not much. We want to fire and decertify.
Mm-hmm.
We can go through those demands, but pretty much if anyone would like to connect and hear us out in the community of what's happening, really we just need to keep connecting and using our voice and not be afraid to call out the wrongs.
Right.
That'll be this Saturday at the Antioch Police Department at noon. We'll be convening at noon.
Okay, so noon o'clock, Antioch PD.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Absolutely.
You'll be there too, Nicole?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Biggest advocate.
I'm like, look, yeah, definitely. And I think, like Patty said, I know it is difficult for some people to protest or feel comfortable being in that type of space, but I just think it's so important. And also, you know, just with the speakers and stuff like that we've had in past protests and rallies, I think it's important for the community to hear their stories and you know, what their family members went through or what they've gone through with this police department as well. So I think, you know, a lot of people, it's usually you go on social media, a lot of it is like kind of one-sided. If you are back the blue person or somebody who's truly just supports our police department and don't want to see, you know, a negative side of them or don't believe all these things that are going on in as far as news articles and things, like come and listen to these families and their stories and hear their pain and you know, see them, they're in tears. It's really sad, but it is good to get a better understanding of what these folks have gone through. So I would recommend for community members on all sides to come together for this, because it's a learning experience every time I show up for me.
So, learning and healing.
Absolutely. And I think we do a really good job with Reimagine Antioch to try to bring folks together, even folks that are, you know, don't necessarily think like us, or a lot of us. But just unity is just a major thing for me, and that's exactly why I love to be a part of not only Reimagine Antioch, but these protests, just to give people a better understanding. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So for anybody who wants to come but is afraid, this is going to be like a peaceful rally, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We've never had I mean, since 2020, I mean, I feel like different organizers, we've all come together. We're continuing to organize, and it's empowering. It's part of our healing, because nothing gets solved with, with violence and
Right.
things like that. We are victims of violence ourselves, and we cannot respond that way. Like,
Right. So people expect to hear stories of things that happened to them or their families.
yeah, we're gonna create that space. I'll be emceeing. And yeah. I mean,
You do such a good job, Patty, every time. You're like, go, Patty. Even when I can't make it, I'm just looking on my screen like, go, Patty.
we have to.
She's
Otherwise,
so
it's like
great with getting the community together and, breaking people out of their skin. And even, some folks that I think I've seen that didn't even come to speak, like Patty, like kind of gets them like, and then they end up speaking and sharing their story. So she's definitely good at making people feel comfortable.
Yeah, thank
So
you,
good for
Nicole. Thank you. And then also, like, as a veteran, there are many veterans in our community. Angelo Quinto, whose life was taken, he was a Navy veteran.
Yeah.
I am a veteran. This is what we fight for advocating for using our voice to protest against. So we're in every right to do this. I usually am in the veterans parade with my son, and it's fun and everything. But I can't. I can't. I appreciate all the veterans and all the love and all the sacrifices. However, here in our city, there are folks that are not living freely or in peace because of these injustices.
Absolutely.
Right. Is there any reason why it's going to be this weekend? Is there
it just happened that way. We pushed it out. We had it planned for a few, like last week, 2 weeks ago, but it takes time to just get organized, and it was just better to extend it. And then it happens to be on Veterans Day, and there is nothing wrong with that.
Right. Okay.
You know what? I did not realize it was on Veterans. I did not. I know they were saying that was the morning or earlier they were going to be doing an event. But I did not not realize that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is Veterans Day Saturday. Friday, the kids are out of school, which is great, and Veterans Day is being recognized on Friday also.
Right.
Saturday is the day because, I mean, a lot of people can't be present during the week. Folks work, folks have families, and so I can't say that we've ever held a protest on a weekend. This is a first. So hopefully that'll open up that window for more community members to just drop by and listen. There is a safety issue also because, well, not too much, but we're like sitting ducks out there because we're advocating for something that wasn't so popular. We were hated on for a while. The family's pain was not, even to this day, like, we need to really acknowledge their pain and the trauma and what it is to be an African American in Antioch today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think as far as what we kind of discussed within Reimagine Antioch, I think they are going to have either some type of security or, folks that are out there making sure that nothing escalates. That's the main thing. We don't want to escalate anything. We want to de-escalate, And so I think as many, I haven't been to many, but even just, watching online, the ones I didn't go to, I think that it's been pretty okay. We had one situation that was like kind of but then everything kind of, it went smoothly, afterwards. And so I think the people that normally come,
Mm.
I'm just going to speak for what I've seen. The people that normally come, like nobody's trying to escalate anything or have anything get out of hand or out of
Right.
control. And I think we've been pretty good at doing that. So I'm not too worried, and I
Me
would
either.
hope that other community members, that would not stop you from coming out if you wanted to join. I know my mom, she was telling me yesterday, oh, remind me about the protests. I'm like, okay. She wants to come, and she just wants to come and support folks. So yeah, don't let that discourage you. I myself, I have kids, so I would not be anywhere, just in my headspace, I would not be anywhere where I thought that I would, my life would be in jeopardy or anything like that. So yeah, come on out. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Right. Have you guys tried to reach out to the chief of police at all? Maybe even
I don't
invited
even know
him?
who it is right now. Which
Which
one?
one?
We got one.
Yes.
Do we have one right now? Because
yeah, can we talk about a little bit about that, if we can?
Yeah, go ahead. What, the previous chief of police or the one right? I don't even know.
No, Carlos, the one we have right now, the last one, and the one before that.
Right.
So I don't know if you've seen the articles and stuff, right? About the
Moorfield and
acting. No, the acting police chief. Is it Vigil?
Vigil, that's the name.
The article with the I think it was the Mercury Times or something. Mercury News, whatever. Because I was a little bit off. I really thought that this chief, which I think he may still be interim, I'm not sure, but that he came from like another city and we just, got him in. I know he had some supporters within the council. And then we, got him in, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll see how this goes. But then, just Monday, the article came out that I guess he was a supervisor or a lieutenant for APD. And he signed off on a lot of these like complaints or, different things that some of these people that were involved within this tech scandal just, signed off and treated it like it was absolutely nothing wrong with what they did. So that was just like really heartbreaking to me, because I was like, damn, you just can't trust nobody in this police. Like, you really can't. It's so frustrating and upsetting, and it's just back to back. It's never ending. It's just nonstop with this police department. It's crazy.
Well, then look at the one in San Jose too. Like, he was on trial for what he did, shooting an unarmed, and then the very next day went on to talk shit about he didn't give a damn. Like, he knew what he was doing. But It was just, there's articles on that also. Like, yes, he's on trial, but then there's no remorse. There's no empathy. There's no, like, nothing. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it really is. And even my issue, I was a little iffy trying to give Chief Ford, just
the benefit of the doubt.
The benefit of the doubt. Patty, you was like, no. No.
Oh,
no.
wow.
And my heart is just so soft and sensitive. Like, all right.
The biggest part.
But at the same time, if I just keep on 100, when I did some complaints about homeless people, and the experiences that they were having with Officer Linderman, who was on the community engagement team, it was basically the liaison between APD and the homeless community, and how people were saying they were terrorized by him and did multiple complaints. Nothing came back. Literally, the couple days after Christmas, spending time with my family, my uncle, who is, older, elderly, disabled, mentally disabled, physically disabled, learning disability, all of that, was illegally detained and arrested by APD a couple of days after Christmas. And we celebrated Christmas with him. And to the point to where, like, they knew they messed up, to where, thank God he had an advocate like me. Like, the police know who I am as a homeless advocate here in this city, to where I was able to call his supervisor and be like, hey, y'all messed up. They got my uncle out of jail, like, 2 days later? or whatever it was, but early. They like literally, oh, we're sending somebody to pick them up because they knew they messed up. After filing a complaint with Chief Ford, it was like, oh, we did an investigation. There was nothing. You know what I mean? So this is like not only for me personal because it's happened to my family, and he was in a low income Delta Fair apartment. And my complaint, this was before the text messages.
I remember
so
that.
my complaint was like,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you guys are not treating our underserved communities. Y'all think that he just, you know, this poor Black man in his community, y'all rush to judgment, and you don't think he has advocates in his life. Thank God he does, but there's somebody else that could be in jail right now because of the mistakes that y'all make. Mm-hmm. You know, so I just was with Ford too. So I don't trust none of them, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I don't know how, Patty, I know how you feel.
Well, you know, there was something that I heard of recently, an Antioch resident, 35 years old. He was missing, and they found his body in the Sacramento River. And I mean, he was an African-American man, and his name was Dexter Allen Cooper. A friend of mine, she's really going through it right now because her outrage is how they went about it, mm-hmm. how they didn't search for him. They assumed he was drunk driving. They assumed he was evading or hiding, but he was diabetic and on the road, and that's how he passed. But it's not on the news. It's not on the news. It's hopefully soon it can be covered. But yeah, this is deep, and I mean, it's our tax money too, right? Like, we are paying the salaries for these folks, like, that's supposed to be protecting. And I mean, I don't know. Can I read our demands from Reimagine Antioch?
Sure.
So we can get an idea. Like, it's not much to ask. It's standards. We need to raise these standards. Okay. So number 1, community. We want to make public all of the text messages, fire, decertify every officer involved. We must know how many agencies, because which other agencies outside of Antioch were involved, and how many current or former cases have been infected with this corruption. We're transparency to review the past cases, all of them, to prevent the unjust prosecutions from advancing. We want to, number 2, create serious police oversight. That's us, the community. Bodies must be filled with community members and given real power, since officers cannot keep themselves accountable. Right. Side note, the Back the Blue folks in the past have intentionally filled seats in these spaces to prevent folks that really want the accountability. I remember clearly, like, I have a screenshot of it, of this guy, this slime ball that was like, hey, let's hurry up and fill these seats to silence us. They're really strategic. Number 3, invest in community-centered public safety systems. And Nicole knows all about the needs of our many community members, and we need these safety systems for everybody. This includes transferring resources away from the Antioch Police Department and then put them in our city's Department of Public Safety and Community Resources for the kids, for the youth, for the houseless, mental health, drug addict, all of it. And then number 4, invest in innovative, nonviolent solutions at the Department of Public Safety and Community Resources, such as non-police traffic enforcement. So it's not much. It's
right.
Those are our demands.
Yeah, that's not much.
And it really should be common sense for anybody that's watching us, that's watching Antioch right now and seeing what is going on. Everybody should want that. And I don't see it being unreasonable at all.
So I know the FBI came in, they did their thing with Antioch. They did Pittsburgh too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What happened with that? We had 9. It was 9 people.
I don't think it was enough. They closed it. I think supposedly they finished their investigation.
Did they?
And hopefully they're still going. I don't think this is
because I mean, if you think about it, if Monday we just got this information about this new chief, obviously they're still doing some type of investigation, or it may be over and they may just now be letting the public know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we'll ever know. That's why we need to know everything. We need to know. I don't feel there's folks that don't feel safe. I don't in my opinion, I don't even want to see a police officer vehicle. I don't want to see the logo. I don't want to see the little APD, nothing. I don't want it. I want them to rebrand community policing or community resources. I want all their vehicles. Give the community the vehicles.
You said that before.
Give it give it to folks that are doing community work. Nicole Gardner, doing community work.
I don't want their vehicles, girl.
Hey, right? Need to be
I don't want their vehicles. Don't get me mistaken. Don't mistake
right. I don't
me.
need that energy. Right. No, right.
But yeah, no, I get it. I'm a little torn. I mean, I don't think I'm as radical. I'm a little torn because I do know the importance of having trained folks, but it's just like, who do you get when you call? You don't know who you're gonna get. So, like with the Quinto family, you called because of a mental health crisis, and this is what you get. Well, of course, now we have the mental health crisis response team, so that's good. But it's just it could just go so left. I can see how people that don't really have good relationships with our police department, how they could think twice before even calling the police. Like in a domestic violence, any type of situation like that, you just be like, nah, should I call? Because they might come and kill my husband, like, even though he put his hands on me. You know what I mean? So you got people having to think twice before calling the police. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I had an incident with a neighbor, and he broke my dad's windshield, and I was looking through the window. It sounded like a gun went off, like the round. But I didn't see that he was hurting anyone. I just saw my dad's car, and I didn't call the police. I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna call the police on this African American man. I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
And then risk.
I am so sorry, y'all. Hold, give me 1 second. I gotta plug my charger in.
Okay.
Oh no. For the phone before the phone dies. But yeah, it seems sad that you guys are kind of reluctant or hesitant to have to call the police, but not just any. You're just referring to the Antioch police, right? Right. And I know, because some of them are like that, some aren't. And it's just a risk you take, when you have to call for assistance within the Antioch community.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I have a thought about the FBI.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's not just even exclusive to our community. I know Patty said, yeah, but this is happening all over the place. We just happen to be on blast right now because our police department is just doing way too damn much. And it's just back to back to back to back. And they just keep finding out more and more. And I think that, I don't think that it should just be, Antioch, because I know this stuff is going on in
cities to cities, state to state,
all over the country. So I think that our, district attorneys are we need to do more. FBI, we need to do more of this in other cities as well. Because I know Antioch is not the only city that's having this, but we just look so bad.
What was different though is that many people in the community sounded alarms. It took a lot. And then a lot of folks actually voted for their first time. We elected officials that we believed that would bring about police reform. We did that. Right. The people did that.
Yep. Right. And look what we got, police reform. We still need more work. We still need to do more work. The mayor and council, I think, definitely still needs to do more work. But I mean, they're
maxed out. I feel like they're maxed out.
They have done a lot though. Like they have really done a lot. I'm really proud of them. Well, a few of them. Yeah.
Do you guys see the comments coming in from the YouTube channel? Do you guys see them?
No.
We got Elizabeth has a question for Nicole on another subject. Okay. She's asking what happened with the autistic kids helping out with your outreach. She said you didn't respond.
I do not remember Who was that?
Elizabeth.
I don't remember any conversations with anybody on either a phone call or a messenger or anything about that. I mean, I love to have the kids come out.
Right.
And that's one thing I'm really big on. Like, my kids have come out. We do, Thanksgiving, Christmases, all types of stuff. We've had kids let them make their own. I took about maybe 8 of them to the dollar store. We just bought heck of stuff, put gift baskets together, wrote personalized cards to individuals that we knew that were on the street. So I love to do that. Please tell her, reach out to me on my Facing Homelessness page. I'm sorry, hon, I don't remember seeing that.
And while we were talking, she also mentioned this.
Within the school district, no one hears about it. Hell yeah! There's a lot of stuff going on in the school district. I feel like they are actively probably deleting files to cover their asses. That's how I feel.
Well, can you ask her what she means by that?
She mentioned
there's so many different aspects.
She mentioned school because she's a special education advocate.
It's bad.
So yeah.
Well, we have Superintendent Anello, leader of the racists. Yeah, she definitely assisted in the organizing of oppressing folks in the community.
And to respond to you, Nicole, she said that.
Elizabeth. Yay. Okay, please do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My parents we have blankets for you too, Nicole. I saw your post. We got a gang of blankets.
Yeah, girl, because it's getting cold. Like I said, we just was telling Carlos, we just went out yesterday again for outreach. Girl, my beans and rice was smacking, girl.
Nice.
People loved it. But we were able to
she's also that
international nonprofit.
Oh, okay. Elizabeth. Yeah. Yes, please hit me up. I'm sorry I missed it. I'm not even gonna make an excuse.
Join us in Reimagine Antioch. We have meetings on Mondays.
Yeah, my bad. We can let's put it. Can you put that in like the what do you call it?
The notes.
Like the notes or whatever. The meetings. As far as when we have the meeting.
The minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's someone, Raina, she's on top of it. Raina, she's a community. She does she's well really in keeping us, because we're all over the place. This work's hard, but we're all families. We have kids.
Right. And she's with, I think, Safe Return Project. So basically, Reimagine Antioch is just a group of Antioch folks that some have nonprofits, organizations, affiliated with different religious groups, and just individual community members. Is just all people that are in the city of Antioch, just trying to reimagine a better Antioch.
Yes.
By doing what we do. So if anyone was wondering what it is, that's exactly what it is.
We need help. Hey, let's all reimagine Antioch together.
Right.
But it's coming together. We are coming together as a community. I remember for a long time, the crazies would say things like, get out of our town, get the F out of our town, blah, 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 using the same language that they did back in the day when they burned down Chinatown. The same language. But this is our community. That's what makes Antioch beautiful. Everybody's from everywhere.
Right.
In different states, different countries, all the way from Afghanistan. Our community is very diverse, and it's a blessing.
Definitely.
She also said this.
We get it, Foundation. Neurodivergent, we are international. Reminds me of the song. So
headquarters are here in. Were you just?
Yes, I did. You remember? I know you
did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Patty's so hyphy all the time.
You too. You're my hyphy sister.
She's in trouble, huh, Elizabeth?
I love her. But yeah, so I think I don't know what other topics you guys want to discuss. I know there's like a little bit of something I want to discuss for a few minutes.
Sure, go ahead.
Just like how we are talking about our local situation as far as our police department. kind of local government and all that, I kind of wanted to touch bases and see how you guys feel about this war that is now going on with Palestine and or the Palestine and Israel. I have talked to so many people, and this has really touched my heart and my spirit and my soul. I've definitely done a lot of research since this war started, and have gone back and kind of thought about like a lot of the history and or researched a lot of the history or whatever, because I had no idea. I did not know any of this stuff was going on. And so I think this is really important, because I think a lot of people are becoming more aware of what is going on, or what has been going on for the last 75 years between these two states. And I don't know. I just felt like there's just so much stuff. Like, I personally believe like the billions and billions and billions of dollars that we are giving Israel every single year, like that bothers me, because I see homeless people laying around everywhere, every single city, in every single state in the United States. There are homeless people, there are veterans, there's a housing crisis, a housing shortage. There's all these different things. Our teachers are underpaid. Our kids are being, because of that, our kids are suffering. So I don't know. I don't know. How is y'all feeling? It's just been the video after video of these folks, these kids, I just did a Facebook video. I was crying, bawling, boo-hooing, snot all over my face. But these kids being murdered, mothers being murdered, pregnant women that are they have no anesthesia or anything like that. So their stomachs are literally being cut open to get their baby. It's just crazy. And me personally, I think this has changed my life like forever. Like forever. I've been a Democrat forever, for years. As long as I have been able to vote, and watching our government and our leaders, such as our president, such as Hillary Clinton, such as Congressman Jeffries, and so many other folks talk about how it's self-defense, talk about and making excuses for what's going on, not calling for a ceasefire, and not listening to basically the rest of the world who's calling for a ceasefire. It's really heartbreaking. And it's, how are you all feeling, and how are you guys doing just mentally? With me, I'm just really it's been an emotional roller coaster for the last month. I can say.
Yeah. Well, I went to Afghanistan, and thank you, Elizabeth. I saw that you're half Afghanistan and your father was out there. I lived out there for almost a year and met the most beautiful people. Yes, meeting of the minds. We're gonna we need to create a meeting of the minds. Yes. This is a meeting of the minds. This is what we're doing. Yeah. So the way that I see, like, the funding that's going, like, it's so wrong that money is going, but I don't think that they're saying like, here's the money here. Like, I think it's more in assets. Like, here, if they deploy people, soldiers, that's money, or old equipment, or old. I don't know how. I know it's a monster. It's complex, but there needs to be a ceasefire. I saw the Biden administration. They made a post on Instagram that said they're going to push for anti-Islamophobia, because that's they're experiencing, in a sense, like racism, a difference being pushed into. It's disgusting. So that the fact that they said that, I feel like they acknowledge the existence of Islamophobia that exists in different countries. It's not okay. There's no, and there is terrorism that don't. Hey, Carlos.
Hey, Frank, what's going on?
Let's hear about how that went down.
You finally popped in, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How y'all doing? I'm glad you're all hanging out
Good.
and conversating, and it's good to join in. Sorry I was a little bit late.
It's all good.
Okay. We knew what you were up to.
You right on time, brother.
You right on time because you just finished coming back from that protest. So yeah, absolutely. No, Patty, like I said, I've looked at interviews of Obama, Hillary, Biden, all them. Like, I don't trust now one of them when it comes to this. I keep hearing self-defense. I am not hearing like what many other people. What it is. I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing a humanitarian pause. A humanitarian pause.
I'm hoping that they're sending funding for humanitarian needs.
I am, but at the same time, how they gonna get up in there? They blocking everything off. They're not bringing enough supplies and things like that for these folks of 20,000 people, I think, that are out there on the south border of Gaza. Like they had, I looked at something today, said they had one hose for like 20 something people. The Israelis have cut off the water supply, all this stuff. Now, one thing I don't want to say, like, I'm just say it, and I'm just gonna keep it 100. I really do not think this is about, and I've said it weeks ago, I do not think this is about no Hamas and Palestinian, a Hamas and Israeli war. This is not, and I'm so sick of seeing that on Western media and all that stuff, because they are in the West Bank. There's no Hamas in the West Bank. These folks are in tunnels and they know it, and they're bombing, tearing down hospitals, schools, all this stuff.
They are.
That is not cool. It's not right. And for us to be funding this shit, it's not cool. And I denounce the Democratic Party. I denounce the Republicans. I am independent. I am on the DPCCC. I am a delegate for the Democratic Party. I do not support none of this. I don't support none of this. These people are wrong. This is genocide, what they are doing to these Palestinian people. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. And when I was younger, I think that's why I have such a passion for homeless people, is because I was a sympathizer with the Jewish community because with the Holocaust. When I was in elementary school, when I first saw everything, saw the bones coming out, all that stuff, I was a true sympathizer. I love the Diary of Anne Frank. I was just so focused on that. And I really think that's what stuck with me all these years. And to see these people doing the same thing that happened to their ancestors, to the Palestinians, is disgusting. It's disgusting. There is no excuse for this.
No, none. The children.
There's no excuse at all whatsoever. And this government, we gonna get what's coming to us. Iran is not playing. Russia is not playing. And we gonna get caught in a crossfire when a lot of us don't even agree with what our government is trying to do right now. So that's what I got to say on that.
Yeah. I'll say something since I just got back, and I'm just returning from Oakland from the Indigenous People Solidarity Rally for Palestine. And I'm hearing a lot of the same thing you're saying there, Nicole, is that folks are very upset that our elected quote unquote representatives are not listening to us when the world is protesting this. And as the Indigenous Solidarity Rally was speaking about, this is what happened to Native Americans here. And Native Americans always are allied with the Palestinians, and the Palestinians always are supporting the Native American cause, because my great grandpa, my dad's grandpa, same thing. And you want to talk about cutting off water, food, and electricity. That's what they did to the Native Americans. First, they shrunk their land base like they did to the Palestinians into the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. They put us into the concentration camps of what they called reservations, basically where they controlled the food, they controlled any fuel supply, they controlled any sort of shelter. and they could use it as a weapon to deny us of that. What happened when Native Americans rebelled? They were deemed savages, they were deemed animals, and they were slaughtered with superior weapons. One thing big was that they destroyed the buffalo. I don't know if any of you have been watching the KQED thing, the buffalo.
Yeah.
The buffalo was at the heart of the Plains Indians. It was their trifecta. It was their food, it was their clothing, and their blankets and their shelter. They would make their teepees out of it. They would eat the food. They would use the patties, the buffalo patties, when they would dry up for fuel. They could burn that because it's basically just grass. And what did the colonizers do? The settler colonialists, they exterminated the buffalo, and it starved the people. Yeah. So it's an interesting show on KQED right now. You could check that out. But again, as you were saying before we got here about they're bombing the hospitals, they're bombing everything. And I heard you mention the self-defense. An occupying force doesn't have the right to claim self-defense. They are there as an occupying force in that land. And I know that you may know, I don't know how many people know about 1948 and the Nakba. If you guys know the Nakba, okay, I see Nicole shaking her head. That was what in Palestinian or in Arabic they call the catastrophe. And the Nakba is when Israel was created in 1948. How did they get that land and get those places? They went in and at gunpoint made families evacuate. And if you didn't go, you died. And then what they do? They took all the stuff out of their houses, threw it in the street, burned it, and destroyed it, and moved into their houses. And that's when they started pushing them into the West Bank. So when people tried to say that October 7th, Hamas started a war, not even close. This started when their land was stolen in 1948. People are refugees in their own land or flee to Jordan and Egypt. Palestinians are diaspora everywhere. They're everywhere. And you can't say this started on October 7th because it hasn't. Just in 2023 alone, Israel was wiping out Palestinians on a daily basis. Kids every day were dying. Nighttime raids where they go in and kill people. Okay. They want to talk about the 100 or 200 hostages. How many thousands of people are in Israeli detention facilities being tortured, going on hunger strike and getting to the edge of death, dying? 2 recently died in captivity. Just recently. They don't call those hostages. They just call them prisoners. But there's been thousands of people languishing, devastating treatment in Israeli detention facilities. So there's a long history that if people aren't familiar with, I would recommend just Googling what was the Nakba or stuff like that. Zionism, the Zionists, when they claim that land as their holy right. And I mean, there's just so much that if you I heard you mention the Western media. If you're not following some sort of Arabic media at the minimum, like Al Jazeera English, or I posted online a while back after I interviewed some folks last Friday on the show, and they gave a good list of folks. I could give it to you, Carlos. You could post it somewhere later. Palestinian journalists to follow, so you could follow what's actually going on the ground. They cut off water, electricity, and fuel to like 2 million people.
Medical supplies.
Yeah, well, that's besides the blockade. Nothing. The blockade has been on for years. Land, sea, and air. And the Palestinians, they don't have a sitting military. They don't have tanks. They don't got a formed army. They don't have jet planes. And if people want to say that the October 7th was like Israel's 9/11 and those people, were killed, they're doing a 9/11 every day. I just left that demonstration, and they were doing the numbers, and nearly, at least right now, 4,000 children have been killed. Another 1,200 missing under rubble right now.
Wow.
right
Yeah.
now. And so they did the math, and it's a child dying every 10 minutes. 10
Wow.
minutes.
Terrible.
And
No. Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, I'll leave it there. I'll just say that Native Americans, again, have always stood in solidarity with the Palestinians. You could talk to any of them. They're always at our gatherings. They're always on Alcatraz. This tonight that I just got back from was an Indigenous Peoples Solidarity rally, and it was a beautiful ceremony. I'm going to post. I wanted to live stream it, but the internet was really bad there, so I took the chance to just videotape it, so I could post it without having it breaking up and being terrible. So I did capture it, and I'll post it on First Voice Media Facebook in the next few hours or tomorrow if I can.
Dope.
Nice.
Thank you, Frank. I have friends, a lot of friends in the Middle East from the time that I met in Afghanistan, and I follow and I see what they're posting every day, the unfiltered, and it's Nicole. I said when you broke down, I was like, I feel that, because breaking down every day just to let it out quietly, hug our children extra tight, because those lives, the innocent lives, and it's just it's terrible.
Just one more thing I want to say, like, you know, and this may be like I said, I don't feel like Hamas is a terrorist group, and that's just what I'm just going to. That's just how I feel. I really don't. I think they are freedom fighters. I think they were sick of the settlers, the people that were taking their homes, the people that were harassing them, jailing them, and doing all that. I really do not find this to be a terrorist group. And that's just my opinion. And I think what America needs to wake up and realize, as well as a lot of other people, is that y'all keep on letting this go on. Y'all keep letting this go on, because you're going to have a whole bunch of Hamasers all over everywhere, okay? Like, people is not doing no plan with this. And again, like I said, we have America, we sitting over here doing this and supporting these folks and doing all that. You know how many people we gonna have on our ass? We gonna have so many people on our ass. Right. If we go in there and start interrupting this stuff, we have no business. Once again, America having no business interrupting it unless it is to halt humanitarian fire. Right. Exactly.
I'm praying
going in there and everybody else's stuff. Stay out of it. Our military ain't even. We got military over here. We ain't even prepared for all that.
We need to deploy the military
with Iran, Turkey, Syria, China, Egypt, whoever else wants to get, because everybody is pissed. I think there's only 3 countries, right? The UK, US, and then and France or something. That is the only countries that have not asked for a ceasefire. Like, this is crazy, and I'm forever changed. I don't know, but I'm forever changed. I will not be voting for none of them. So, and that's just that. And I will not be into politics. That's just that.
That's the beauty of America. We can't.
I think they're gonna. The Democrats are gonna take a hard hit from this, because Genocide Joe, as he's being dubbed these days, is.
I don't agree with calling him Genocide Joe, but yeah,
Genocide Joe. He's contributing to genocide right now. We are sending them the weapons, the technology, and the unsupported, the unwavering support of the United States. Not in my name. Not
Mine either.
But Joe is going ahead. Who vetoed this humanitarian ceasefire? The United States did in the United Nations. The United States and France, and then vetoed a humanitarian ceasefire. Why would you veto a ceasefire and then come home and say you're for a humanitarian break? You had a chance at the UN to have your representative vote for a ceasefire, but he didn't. So,
but what they said, though, Frank, what he said, the excuse that they made is that if you do a ceasefire, it's going to help Hamas, because that'll give them time to get their weapons together, to get if you bring aid in there, they don't want to be able to get it to them. But see, it's just lies upon lies, because then they also said that they had water and fuel and all this. They just weren't giving it to their people. So the Western media, I don't trust. I don't know. And
no, you can't trust it.
Though MSNBC, they have been starting to report on what we're talking about, and I think they're a little woke on this now.
CNN
So
too. CNN did a little something.
CNN has been doing some stuff too,
So,
right? So
my
it's
thing-
slowly but surely coming out. Like
Yeah.
it's slowly, they can't denounce what everybody is seeing with their own damn eyes.
Right.
El presidente Joe can't make us all, like, there's a decision that needs to be made. I think there's pieces that we don't see behind the scenes. That's all. But I wish that they could have gone out publicly and said, "Hey, stop the shit."
Right.
Yeah,
I think
we
whatever
are
those
the,
other countries are, those other countries, those 50 other countries or whatever, however many it is, that said ceasefire, and the 3, including us, that said no, not at this time. Maybe we need to see what they need to see what those other countries are seeing then. Because everybody is on board except for us. But of course, you know, the Israelis and the Israel government in America is like, US is like this. So they're in the pockets of the politicians.
Right.
So
Right.
of course, they ain't gonna do nothing.
So before the show's over, we do have one question here in the audience, and I'm gonna go ahead and show it. So I know we're dealing with the holidays, not to change the subject or nothing like that, you know, but I know all of us do help the, you know, the houseless community, and we do other things too. Nicole, do you have any events coming up for Thanksgiving?
I don't. My birthday, actually, we're just gonna do our Wednesday outreach regularly, and my birthday is on the 28th. And one of our OGs out there, his birthday is near mine. So normally I do something like a special type of thing for the folks down by Amtrak, whatever that week is near the 28th. But I have the Worship Center Church, 315 G Street, Antioch, Saturday, November 18th. They are having dinner served at 3:30 p.m.
Oh, perfect.
A Thanksgiving dinner, and I have another one. If you can just bear with me one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, at the Delta Landing in Pittsburgh, the old Motel 6. Another organization, Holy Hands, is having Thanksgiving outreach November 12th at 3 p.m. at the Delta Landing parking lot. So if you know anybody that's unhoused, they can come there. Even if they don't stay there in that the Delta Landing program, they can still come there and get some dinner with them too.
Right. I said perfect for the worship center because you said that starts at 3, right?
Yeah, Worship Center Church.
Yeah.
Saturday, November 18th, dinner served at 3:30 p.m. And I also wanted to, since we were talking about unity and healing, the mayor is having a event at the community center on the 30th. Ooh,
Okay.
I'm gonna have to give you the time later because I don't
I'm
think
definitely going to that. We need.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm
Right.
definitely going to that. And he was like, I talked to him not too long ago. He's like, there's not going to be any massages or anything like that, but you know, like no spa day, but like, you know, just healing and people talking and unifying, especially with what all is going on in the world. And so I think that'll be a great event to go to.
Right. So
and then Patty, of course, we said the Saturday event, and
yeah,
Saturday
Reimagine Antioch, doing our sending in solidarity.
Absolutely.
Right. I mentioned the 18th too because me and brother Ezekiel with the Street Fishing Ministry are gonna from 11 to like 2, 11 to 2 or 3, we're gonna hit up Antioch and Pittsburgh and go out to all the little areas where everybody's at, and we're just gonna fill up the trays and pass them out. So yeah, we got people that have been donating money. We got a wish list, I think they're called, on the Amazon. So people are buying socks and hand warmers and all that. So yeah, so we're gonna.
When is that, Carlos?
The 18th. That same day, the worship center. But so when ours ends at 2 or 3, theirs is gonna start. So I'm also gonna tell people. You know, you got this food here. You know, if they get it at 11, then they can go at 3. Then they got, you know, because we're going to start downtown Antioch, and then we're just going to tell everybody the worship center, because that's right downtown Antioch, correct? Yeah. So yeah, we'll send, yeah. So we'll send them over there. So they've got lunch, and then they've got an early dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So they're at least covered, twice that day, and it is a Saturday. But yeah, there's that. There's
they're gonna be so thankful and happy about it.
Right.
Thank y'all.
There's your event, the 11th at the Antioch PD, and that's at noon.
City Council next week on Tuesday, 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exercise our civic duties, ask our elected officials to maybe demand a ceasefire. Also, it's not too late.
And I would just add, if folks are still trying to learn about what's going on in Palestine and Israel, to look up the Nakba, 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 and also follow some organizations around the Bay Area that are doing work that you could learn from. And that would be AROC, the Arab Resource Organizing Center, and the Palestinian Youth Movement. They're organizing solidarity rallies. They could educate you on what's really going on. They can come out and speak to your groups
Nice.
like we just had tonight. So yeah, look up the Nakba, follow AROC, Arab Resource Organizing Center, follow PYM, the Palestinian Youth Movement, and seek out an alternative perspective to our mainstream news. Again, at the minimum, I'd say what you could do is watch a little bit of Al Jazeera English, or even just for images, you could put it on Al Jazeera Arabic, which is actually live a lot more on the ground. You might not be able to understand everything, but I tell you what, you're going to see something that's going to be a lot different than you're seeing on any of the news channels on cable around here. So you got to seek out that alternative information, or you're going to be not fully informed. And Nicole said something earlier about Hamas or terrorists or freedom fighters. And the U.S. has always dubbed someone that they want to deem the bad guys as a terrorist. And there's an old saying, I think it was a Republican, I can't think of who it was. One man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. And that's just how it goes. And find some good information for yourself. Get educated.
I say we have local terrorists here in our community terrorizing our community.
Yeah, girl, they everywhere.
Right.
In uniform.
They're everywhere. Yeah, absolutely. And so that's what we're going to take care of on Saturday. So thank you, Carlos, for having me. I appreciate all of you in the conversation.
Nicole, Miss Patty, Mr. Sterling, I appreciate you guys' time. I know it's precious, and it's getting kind of late. It's almost past my bedtime, but I appreciate you guys, and looking forward to, I'm going to try to make it Saturday. So if not, I'll be there in spirit,
Absolutely.
Come out and join us, Carlos. Come out and join us. I remember seeing you when we were camping out there. You came by every once in a while.
Yeah, I check on you guys because y'all was starving yourselves, and I went over there talking about food.
I remember that. That was the first time I met Carlos. He's like, I'll bring you some tacos. And they were like, we're on a hunger strike.
I was like, you can eat them after.
Lastly, Carlos, congratulations on y'all Tent for Tacos event too. I wanted to tell you that it was an amazing event. Great turnout. A lot of folks showed up, and thank you guys for always being there. You and Cher and the church always being there for our unhoused friends that are on the street. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next Thursday, Lord willing, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And just want to say to everybody out there, peace. And don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't on the YouTube. I'm also on Facebook. It's past my bedtime. Facebook, Carlos Tacos, and then the Instagram, Carlos Tacos .1. So thank you all, and peace out. We'll see you soon.
Free Palestine.
That's right.
Free Palestine.
Black Lives Matter.